Okay. Am I the asshole if I refuse to buy a brand new car for my family? Growing up in a conservative Filipino home, we were taught to give back to our parents. Ever since I, 26 female, graduated from college and started working, I have been helping my family in paying bills and other expenses at home. I am the eldest child, by the way. At first, it was okay, but then it came to the point where that I wanted to move out and live independently. I wasn't transparent about this with my parents because the last time I brought up that I want to move out and rent an apartment near my office, they got mad because it will be just a waste of money since we already have a home, parentheses, which is 3 hours away from my office, thanks to the Metro Manila traffic. So this person's in the Philippines. Okay, right
Mm.
now uh my dad is bringing up of buying a brand new car since our old one is always broken and needed repairs almost every time. He always asks me if I can buy a new car for the family since he knows that I have the financial capacity to purchase a new one. Parentheses, he knows I recently got promoted. I honestly don't know how to refuse because I know he'll get mad and will bring up the fact that he raised me and my siblings, and I don't even know how to give back. Buying a car is not my priority right now. I have actually been saving up so I can afford to buy my own home.
Mm.
Yeah.
This is tough because this person lives in the Philippines. So there are going to be some cultural differences, even though, like, I'm Filipino, but I live in America. And I am obviously very, like, blessed that my parents aren't like this. Like, they don't expect money from me or anything like that. But I also think that our environmental, like, wherever we are, like, the fact that we live in America really does influence the way that we think and the way that we see things. And I think that goes the same for my mom and OP.
Hmm.
So I really don't know. Like, I would assume that maybe other Filipino people in the Philippines
Hmm.
feel the need to take care of their parents. It is like a common thing, even though I live in America, it's still like not really a pressure, but like it is like a part of our culture. And there'll be comments here and there like, oh yeah, you're gonna take care of me when I'm older, right? But I don't think there's like an actual expectation. But in this case, OP's family does expect them to sacrifice money, to sacrifice, just their freedom for the family. So that's where it's like really hard to even, you
Hmm.
know, to relate. But I do empathize because I could understand the feel the pressure to want to take care of your family, and those comments
Hmm.
from her parent or from her dad and mom to do it. And I think my overall vote would be not the asshole, because you are entitled to your own needs, your own money. You worked really, really hard for your money, and for you to move out to be closer to your office, that is that is so reasonable. So I
Hmm.
don't understand why they would feel like that is wrong or like wasting money when it's 3 hours away, right?
Hmm.
Am I reading that correctly?
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I again, like, I live in America, but I and like I live in America, and I also don't know like the cultural expectations of families in the Philippines. I don't know your family. I
Hmm.
don't know OP's family. Um, so yeah, this is tough, but not the asshole.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I don't think OP is the asshole either. I can definitely empathize on just having really unfair or unrealistic expectations. I've also grown up in the US, so I when I read the story, honestly, the second half, that was my first time reading it, so I completely didn't realize that this person was straight up in Manila. um and yeah, I but nonetheless, regardless if you're, Filipino American or Filipino, I think that, your money is still your money, like you said, Angela. And I think right now, even if your family doesn't understand right away and if they're angry at you, I would say just like let them, and that over time they will eventually, hopefully, I don't know, but hopefully they will come to terms and understand the reasons why you invested in yourself first, because it's not like you don't love your family, right? Like, you clearly want to take care of them, but you're in a position right now where it's kind of tough for you to give your money to someone else when you need to be like investing that money in yourself so that you can become like a better person, a better financially stable person in the long term. So and like Angela said, it's very reasonable for you to want to move closer to your work. So I see that as an investment in yourself should you decide to, save the money for your own needs and not your family.
Mhm.
Easier said than done
Yeah.
though. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's why it's so frustrating. Or I guess like listening to the stories, because like you're obviously trying to take care of yourself. You're trying to set yourself for success, and trying to be like financially stable. And I don't understand why your parents or your family would want you to sacrifice that to take care of them when they have their own, like, they're capable of doing that for themselves, you
Mhm.
know? So it is selfish and it is like unfair to you, but I think the overall like lesson here is to, or like action items, is to like put your boundaries up and communicate. It's gonna take some time and that's not gonna be easy. So it's gonna be a journey, but
Yeah.
the more you put your boundaries up, the more that you communicate, the better it is for them to understand where you're coming from and your goals and your needs, because you can't take care of them your entire life. Like, yes, you'll be there and you'll spend time with them, you'll support them emotionally and all these things, and financially if you do want to, but like on your terms. It's not, they're not entitled to that. And please don't tell your family like how much you make or these private things, because they're going to end up taking advantage of you. And that's just like with anyone, you know?
Mhm.
Like, I don't really say a lot about like my financial stuff or like private things to like my family, because they don't need to know. They need to know that I'm okay, but
Mhm.
I don't want them to see me differently because of it. And it's not to say they will, but it's just like my own security
Mhm.
and my own like peace of mind. So I think you should consider doing that. Or I mean, you don't have to, but first step would definitely be to start putting up some boundaries, start communicating, and the more that you do it, the better they'll understand it. And if they get mad at you, yeah, obviously they're going to get mad at you. It's a change. People don't like change. People don't like to be like essentially like wrong or like being called out, whatever. But you can't let them do that to you. It's so unfair.
Mhm. I just want to uplift that you said, don't let your family take advantage of the financial stability that you have. And I kind of I wonder like if that's coming from like on a like picture, if that's coming from our trauma or like our specific relationship to like our parents, because I kind of have wondered the same thing. Like, my sister had told me growing up, like when I graduated college and whatnot, that she said, whatever job you make, don't feel the need to tell mom and dad about it, because she doesn't tell mom and dad. And I always just wondered like if that was specific to just my family, or if that's like, do other Asian folks relate to this, or is it larger than just, do other people just relate to, salary transparency with their own parents regardless of culture? Like, that actually, I don't know, just like what you said kind of stuck with me, because I was just like, I feel that, and I just don't know if that's like, if I was the only one feeling that.
No, yeah. I mean, I was transparent before, but it got to a point where when I was transparent, she would kind my mom sometimes would expect me to pay because I would make more than her, and it would be a very awkward situation because sometimes I don't budget those those situations. And yeah, from then on I just said, okay, I'm not going to say anything. But um, in the Philippines, it's hard because I don't know, like we don't know like what OP's financial situation is, like her family's financial situation, because the Philippines can be kind of difficult. And they are in a different like I don't know how to say it, but earning money isn't as easy, at least from what I've been told or what I've seen. And so I can see why the parents might depend on the
Mhm.
child or like the OP, because it can be hard, getting by in the Philippines. And so I think to bypass that, if I was OP, I would try to figure out how to lift my parents up versus them bringing me down. Like find
Mm,
opportunities for them to kind of like meet you there, or
I
like
love that.
I I wouldn't necessarily stop at the fact that they're trying to get your money or like take advantage of your money, whatever, or forcing you to buy this car. Now, like I would try to switch it around, because obviously they're not privileged enough to like or like they aren't in a good standing financially to get those things that they want, like the car. So what better way than help them. Like
Yeah.
maybe there's like a mental block, like a mindset that they aren't, because I was just reading this comment that says, not the asshole, I know your situation well. Don't fall for it. It's a ghetto poor mindset. Save up for a home. It's an actual investment. Your parents are bringing you into this world. Your parents bringing you into this world was on them, not you. You're already paying bills for them and helping out in small ways. Buying a new and quickly this the depreciating asset, sorry, is not a
Mhm.
smart move for anyone. And I think what I got the most out of this is a ghetto poor mindset, but I wouldn't necessarily call it that. It's more so like this fixed mindset, or like, because it almost seems like they don't like change,
Mhm.
and you supporting them in that change and finding them better ways to support themselves is like the best way you could help them. So yeah, that was kind of
I love
long
that.
answer.
No, I love these comments, like, they're really it's just good to know that, other people can relate to this, and just coming from, like, a conservative Asian home, I think a lot of us can relate to that too, because all of our families are, like, boomers and whatnot, and I think there's a lot of overlapping, shared understandings that we have.
Yeah, so hopefully she finds, I think it was a
Yeah,
she,
female.
finds a solution to this, because I don't think this is going to be resolved overnight. It's definitely going to be a journey, like I said. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Alright. Good talk.